Good morning. Welcome to Monday Morning Coffee and Chat with Hallee Bridgeman. I'm so happy you could join us. I have my cup of coffee, so I hope you have a cup of coffee or tea and you have a few minutes while we chat. So happy April, last week of April. Can you believe this? Holy cow. It's the last week of April. It's also the last week of Autism Awareness Month, which is why I have my autism cup. Before school got out, they had the Spirit Week. And there's like this, it wasn't a Spirit Week, it was like Exceptional Student Awareness Week or something. And anyway, every day you wore a different color for some childhood. There was like Down syndrome and cancer. Anyway, so Wednesday that week was Autism Awareness. And they were supposed to wear tie-dye. And I asked Scott if he was going to wear tie-dye to school, and he's like, why? I said, because it's Autism Awareness Day. And he's like, I'm aware. It's very black and white with him. So he's aware. But I will tell you that he was diagnosed with an underlying or overlying, I'm not sure which it is, condition a few months ago and was put on a medication that has been like Greg and I went into this journey saying, we aren't going to seek diagnosis and we're not going to medicate. And we have really educated ourselves, and the diagnosis has done nothing but help him. And having a psychiatrist who can understand and respect our desire not to medicate, but then show us like actual deficiencies of things in his brain that specific medication like supplement instead of alter was really good for us. I mean, he's been a great psychiatrist. We love him. So anyway, Scott's on this really super tiny minuscule dose of this medication, and it's been like night and day. I can't even explain. Like here's a good way of explaining it. He always has drawn. He's a cartoonist. He wants to be a syndicated cartoonist. He's really brilliant. All of his drawings have always been in black and white, black pen, white paper. And a week after he started this medication, he started coloring in all of his drawings. So I don't know if you understand the significance of that, but we all did. And his counselor even, because she always has him draw for her. And his counselor, you know, one of the first things she said was his drawings were in color today. So, yeah, autism awareness. So I haven't done anything on social media. I haven't done anything online. This is the first time I've mentioned it to y'all. It's just been kind of low key for us this year, probably because of the COVID-19 stuff. And I just decided I needed to pull out my puzzle coffee mug. So I hope y'all are well. Week 7 of social isolation. I know some states are opening up this week. Kentucky isn't. Governor Beshear's been super cautious through this entire thing. And if you look at the numbers of Kentucky and the numbers of the states surrounding us, we're way low numerically. So I think that his caution is well grounded. And so, you know, he's managed to do what he set out to do. And so we're still in kind of a strict lockdown mode. And that's fine with our family. It's easier for me to say that because my husband works remotely and I obviously work remotely. And so it doesn't affect our family the same way it does other families. But I know that it's time for other people to start getting out and moving and doing and opening up and figuring out what our new normal is going to be. So I'm really excited for other parts of the country and for small business owners who are allowed to go back into their businesses. And I really hope that economic recovery comes swifter than current numbers are guessing. So I am going to answer a question this morning. It's been several weeks since I've answered a question, and this is what's cool is I pulled up my questions, and it's when you have a Google form, when someone like fills in the forms in a Google form, what you get back as the creator of the form is like an Excel spreadsheet looking thing. And so I pulled up my Excel spreadsheet has several hundred line items, and I was skimming through it trying to find, something to talk about. And one of the questions was, and I'm serious, I'm not making this up. Let me find it. I'm always looking for yummy coffee. When will Hallee's Brew be available? And I was like, oh, that's an awesome question to ask, because we launched Hallee's Brew last week. So Hallee's Brew is now available. It's Honduran bean coffee. We are partnered with Principio Coffee in Alabama, and they are a Honduran ministry, and all of the money that they get from the sale of coffee goes back to their village in Honduras and supports them. And they have a beautiful story, and I know that he's putting the story of their mission on the back of the bags of coffee that he sells for me. And I will link to the Hallee's Brew page on my website when I put this video up, and there's a link inside that will take you to Principio's About Us. And and he was an amazing man. We spent the day there in Alabama and got to roast coffee with him, and he talked about the science behind coffee. He sent me home with a bag of green coffee beans, which, I didn't know this, is the densest bean on earth until it's roasted. And when you roast it, it's like popping popcorn. It honestly pops. And it pops like 1,000 different ways on a micro level. Isn't that amazing? And so when he's roasting the coffee, you can hear the popping. I'll put up the video. And so yeah, Hallee's Brew is now available. I should have a Hallee's Brew coffee mug soon. I was in the middle of designing them and then realized I'm not a designer. So I tried. I failed. Greg took the project away from me. And we'll get Hallee's Brew coffee mugs out too. And that's answering my question today. I am rewriting Temperance's Trial. And I think that's good for me to do right now, because it's putting my brain back in writing mode without writing a contemporary story that has me stuck in the fact that my characters are walking down the street in Manhattan and holding hands and not wearing gloves or masks. So I kept going back to that scene in Alexander's Appeal and just freezing and not being able to write. And we're recovering the Virtues and Valor series and bundling them in different ways. And Greg came to me and said, Temperance's Trial is really the smallest book of the 8, and it just really needs more. And so I'm not rewriting it. I'm adding scenes to it. I'm layering up more characterization, and it's been so much fun. And so I should finish that today and then be able to get back to Alexander's Appeal without being like stuck in my own brain with writing. So I hope y'all have a great day. It's in Kentucky right now. This blue sky, beautiful. It was kind of a little chilly this morning. I think it's going to be a beautiful day. I'm looking forward to spending a lot of time outside in between spending time in occupied France and getting the boys going for they have 3 weeks left of school, and they get to stay home for it. And honestly, Greg and I are talking about, I said, I hope that they let us choose next year whether we want NTI or traditional instruction. Like if everything opens back up in Kentucky, can we have a choice? And if they don't, we're seriously like, okay, well then what will homeschool look like for us? Because the boys are thriving, straight A's, happy, creating. I honestly did not anticipate homeschooling being so, not getting any pushback from them. Like there's just ease into it every morning and spend all day working. I mean, they don't get done at noon or anything. They're done at like 4 and 5, but they're relaxed and happy, and it's great. And so we think that we're probably going to keep them home next year. And if we can choose, it would be better because their curriculum is great. Their school system set up with the Google Classroom is wonderful, but we'll find another means if we need to. So yeah, so Monday morning, I got to go make sure that they're getting started on their day, and y'all have a wonderful day. I will see you next week. God bless you.